And here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ageless. We are not young, we are not old, we are the tweeners. And I have with me here the lovely Marcia Martin, who will be speaking about healing from the heart. A beautiful subject, wonderful subject we can all use. So, Marcia, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. And as
Hmm.
we were talking earlier, I
Hmm.
think it is so important as people who may have been victimized by abuse or trauma that you have an understanding of how powerful you really are. I know
Exactly. Hmm.
I know. I lived the first 45 plus years of my life
Hmm.
believing that I was a victim. And the
Hmm.
most that I could hope for out of life was maybe it won't hurt so much. Maybe I can figure out a way to be a good person and perhaps someone will be nice to me or they'll throw me a bone. And that is
Oh, oh.
such an unhappy
Hmm.
I have a blog post that says crumbs from the table are not a meal. And I
Right.
want every person who has been exposed to abuse or trauma to understand that those tossed off crumbs of affection or attention are not a meal and you deserve more.
You get so used to those little crumbs, but the feeling when you take the crumb, you know deep down it's not enough. And you feel badly. You feel horrible. That feeling isn't worth it.
Well,
Hmm.
then we layer in that shame. Oh, I'm so ashamed that all I'm allowed to have is a crumb. Oh, I guess I'm not worth much because they're only willing to share a crumb with me. Now we start blaming.
Hmm.
Oh, it's my fault because I don't have enough value. If I had more value, they would give me a whole meal or at least a whole bite. And
Hmm.
it creates and
Good.
continues this incredibly vicious cycle that allows us to be puppets under the string of a diabolical puppeteer. So what
Hmm.
we want to look at is how we got here. How
Right.
did we decide to be victims? And I use that word loosely. And please, if you are a victim, understand I've been where you are, and I am not trying to be judgmental or make you feel bad. But in
Right.
order to give you a better ending, we've got to start at the beginning.
Exactly. Exactly. Because my sister in law is the sweetest thing. And she'd say, what is wrong with you that you are getting this treatment? Is from it, say, from an ex boyfriend. Now I would tell them stories. Think there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing. How dare you? What? It's all wrong with him. But once I realized, yes, that it's what it stems from was I didn't think I had the power to change it. And we are so powerful.
Yes, and you don't have the power. You don't see yourself as valuable. You probably are seeing yourself as more of the servant in the room than the one that deserves to receive something. So
Hmm.
let's look at origin points. Where could this have started? How could this have begun? Well, usually we have to go to an early childhood experience where you were either ignored or expected to act in a certain way, and you began following that pattern because you wanted their attention or affection. You
Hmm.
need to earn parental approval, and so you became the molded being that they wanted you to become without
Hmm.
really any conscious thought, oh, I'm becoming the good girl, or I'm becoming the outrageous one, or I'm becoming the really withdrawn one, or
Hmm.
I'm the one that does all the work. You don't think it through. You just start stepping into agreement with,
Hmm.
oh, this is my role. And then when that becomes your role, we begin attracting others who want us to continue that role.
Ugh.
So let's say we have decided that we're going to be the good girl servant, because usually good girl wants to, or man, boy, whatever, it's not limited by gender.
Mm-hmm.
Good person generally likes to be the servant as well, because you have to prove that you have value. So at the party, you're the one cleaning the kitchen, serving the hors d'oeuvres. You're
Mm-hmm.
not getting to socialize. You're not getting to be part of the enjoyable activities. You-
Right.
You're there doing the grunt work, earning your place. And people will see that energetically. And also, as you are doing this, they'll notice, they'll respond to the energetics of you putting out there, I don't have much value except I'll work hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or they will see you in the kitchen and they're like, oh, if they're a manipulator, if they're an abuser, if they like to take advantage, they might say, ooh, look at Marcia. She'll go off in the corner and I can stay at my party, have a great time. And at the end of the night, I've got a clean, sparkling kitchen and I didn't have to do anything. I'm going to invite her to more events, or I'm going to get in a relationship with her because she clearly enjoys this role, or will agree to this role.
Right.
And then here we are, the person who said, I'm the good person servant, saying, why does everybody treat me like the servant in the room? I
Mm-hmm.
never get to have a good time. I am always the one shoved in the corner. And then we'll tell ourselves things like, well, it's kind of comfortable here. I am a little shy and I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a whole lot of value. So maybe I'll just stay in the corner because I'm safe here. And we just keep perpetuating this pattern. We keep sending out these signals that say, go ahead, take advantage of me, abuse
Mm-hmm.
me, treat me badly. It really doesn't matter because I don't see that I have any value
Mm-hmm.
until we are so deep in it that we are either heading off the cliff towards suicide or some other life altering decision, or we have closed down completely with
Right.
depression.
Right. Depressed, or you get sick,
Yes.
or
Oh, yes.
the body,
Yes.
or yes.
Sickness is a really good way to put yourself out of commission.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are sick and tired of being the servant in the room, you may make a contractual agreement with dis-ease so that you don't have to do that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I had a psychotherapist on, and I was like, what about empaths and narcissists? The buzzword,
Oh,
empath. And he said, there's something in you that accepts the narcissist. It's not all his fault. I almost fell over because everyone wants to blame the narcissist. And he said they can be healed. It's not, with work and agreements and everything else. And that started the opening of my eyes. That,
well,
yeah.
when I look at the empath and the narcissist, I see the same seed. I
Mm,
see the same beginning. There is
mm,
that deep sensitivity. There is that huge need to please, and there's a deep well of insecurity.
right.
The the empath takes that and says, I'm going to be the most loving, kind, honoring, serving person that I can be. That
Hmm.
will address this need in me that has to be filled. The
Hmm.
narcissist takes this same input and says, I really dislike myself. I've
Hmm.
got to find others outside of me that will validate me. And it doesn't matter what I need to do in order to get that validation. I
Hmm.
have to. It's my identity. It's everything to me. So it is that same origin point of insecurity, deep sensitivity, and confusion about their value, but it just spreads off in different directions. And I've really come to understand that a lot of it is soul years. So
Okay.
if you are a newer soul, you're probably going to veer off in the narcissistic direction just because it's less work and less of a burden. If you are older, if you've already tried this and didn't like the way it ended, you may be willing to do the work of holding on to your empathic sensitivity and trying to carry the world for others. And then if you are the oldest,
Mm-hmm.
you'll recognize, whoa, back to center. I've got to create boundaries. I have to
Mm-hmm.
understand what I can do. I
Mm-hmm.
have to maintain a connection with divine in whatever way that looks like to me, and use that connection as my way to honor others. It cannot come from my humanness. So I just see it as different
Okay.
origin point, different journeys in terms of the growth that they may have experienced as a soul.
Okay. And then I hear you chose this. I believe in astrology that it was like however the stars aligned, you were here. I don't believe that you chose to be abused. I just don't. I can't.
So let me clarify that for you because that sounds horrible. That
Mm-hmm.
sounds like the cruelest, meanest thing. It makes the divine sound like they don't care about us. Those sensitive beings that have volunteered to be sensitive or maintain their sensitivity are just the ones that get thrown to the wolves. But we are confused by what it means to choose. So
Mm-hmm.
when
Yes.
when you are in your pre-birth experience, where you're in this lovely little womb of energy, where
Mm-hmm.
everything is easy and flowing and instantaneous, you can't wait for the growth that is offered by a life journey. And
Mm-hmm.
so you may choose all of these incredibly powerful growth opportunities from
Mm-hmm.
the safety of this energetic womb.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get here, say, oh, whoopsie, I think I overloaded my cart.
Yes.
And so I think we need to be clear. Yes, in the womb of energetic possibilities where you recognize you are safe and loved and nothing can harm your soul, you can choose some really hairy stuff.
Oh my goodness.
And you can volunteer to help another younger soul. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this I learned from someone I worked with who had been exposed to a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
It upset me so much. I was relatively new in my own journey in this lifetime, and I went storming off to, I call them Mother, Father, God. I went storming off to say, what is wrong with you people? Why
Right.
would you let these things happen? How
Right.
in the world would anybody, an innocent child, be subjected to this? And they said, you misunderstand the way this works. Number one, the soul cannot be harmed. Number two, you choose to participate or to make it possible for these things to happen for your own growth and sometimes for the growth of another person. So this person entered into an agreement with the abuser pre-life because this was going to be abusers' opportunity to make a different choice, to grow in a and expand.
Okay.
And so victim knew going in that there was a possibility this would happen.
Okay.
Abuser was supposed to learn that this is not acceptable.
Okay.
It didn't work. She was abused. And yet, out of that horrible, horrible circumstance came incredible growth. Do I recommend that people put themselves in horrible circumstances for growth? No.
No.
But if that if that does happen, don't assign any blame, no shame, no guilt, no
Mm-hmm.
I'm stupid. Just
Right.
let all of that go. Just say, okay, I'm here for whatever reason. I'm here. What did I learn? And how can I move forward from this and not bring any of this agreement with me? And by agreement, I mean, as a child, did you agree to be the people pleaser? Did you
Right.
agree to whatever you agreed to when you were just forming? You need to now, as a wise individual, say, that is not in alignment with my highest good. So
Right.
releasing that, I'm letting myself off the hook. I no longer want to see myself as that. And now I am allowing myself to be this beautiful being of courage and intelligence, wisdom and value. That's who I'm going to now embody. And it's going to take practice. You're going to have to keep reminding yourself
Mm-hmm.
more than enough. I am perfect as I am. I deserve good things. You've got to keep reinforcing this choice.
Right.
Otherwise, we'll just go back to the way we were because that's what we know.
Right. I had trouble with men picking abusive men. And my dad was bipolar and manic. So I was used to being the good girl, angry, and then
The
when they're,
appeaser. Yeah.
yeah, they're violent towards me, but I never blamed myself. I used to think it was them. I'd be like, they are so mad, I was mad deep down, but I stayed. I finally broke up with one, and he was so shocked that I had the power within me to break up from day one. And I mean, and I somehow I thought I had to be all in and I couldn't like step. You can step, you can move away. And he changed completely. There's no yelling, if he does, I'm out. I owe him nothing. I have no allegiance,
And
to a
even if you do, let's say you are in a committed relationship, a marriage, whatever commitment looks like to
right,
you, even if you are, you deserve to be honored. And it is okay to say to your partner, I'm not going to put up with this. This
that's
is
what
not honoring me.
That's what I did. And without Tammy in his life, he actually got sick. It wasn't violence. Oh, I'm so sick, because I didn't speak to him for a month. So I didn't know he was sick. And he actually got really sick and he was shocked. He said he was wrong and apologized. There was no I did this, but it was I was in
And I'm
yeah.
so glad you said that. Be
hmm
so careful of, oh, it'll never happen again. But
Uh,
if that's on the end of the apology, it's
yeah.
not an apology, it's an excuse.
hmm
So make sure that those words, which are very cheap, are followed by actions that are substantive. Otherwise, they are just finding a new way to manipulate you. And
Yes.
this relationship hasn't matured, hasn't improved, and isn't honoring your highest good or theirs. And
hmm
let's recognize that every human agrees to this journey for the purpose of growth. You are not growing when you are holding on to old patterns that are no longer serving you and
hmm
refusing to change them. Either one of you. So if they're used to being domineering and acting infantile and throwing a 2-year-old tantrum because they didn't get their way, and
hmm
you're used to acquiescing, neither one of you is expanding and
Exactly.
growing.
Yes,
So
you never said anything. So I would think that after you would know better not to yell, but some men have to be taught, I guess. And he's like, "You never said anything. Oh, I'll never do it again." And he hasn't so far. It's been months, so we will
But
see.
I love that. I
Mhm,
love action that is well conscious action, you know,
mhm,
and so it can only, and you must keep track. This is something very important. If you have been in an abusive relationship and you are giving the abuser, and I use that term lightly because if they're truly an abuser, you probably just need to get out.
right,
But if
exactly.
you're with somebody who's just not socially adept, has learned really bad relationship um, habits. If you are with someone like that who is willing to change, willing to be taught, willing to understand, I am a human being and will not put up with that.
Mhm.
Now, I want you not to just one and done it, but actually keep track
Oh, he's on
of,
probation for at least
yes,
a year.
yes, yes. Keep track
Mhm.
of their behavior to monitor and your own. Are
If he
you slipping
starts
back
getting
into
back,
the,
I will be so it can't. It just I'm not going back to being miserable.
oh, amen. There's
And
no
why?
more, oh, it's okay.
But,
They didn't mean it. If you,
oh,
those
no.
words are coming out of your mouth, slap yourself silly. That's not okay. And
Yeah.
if they start with that same aggressive behavior that was happening before, that's not okay either. There
No.
are no excuses on either side. Both of you are powerful, and together you can create something really fabulous. But
Hmm.
or you can create an implosion that will blow up both of your lives. And it's really, we must remember we can only be victims when we don't know better. Once
Right.
we know, now we're stepping into a different game, and this was one you can win. You can be victorious if
Hmm.
you understand it's your opportunity to shine. You get to say, that behavior does not honor me. No, and they
Exactly.
get to say, well, I like behaving this way, or really, I
Hmm.
didn't realize there was something wrong with breaking the chair every time I got
Right.
mad. I'm like,
Right.
where did you grow up? Like,
Right. Yeah. Bad childhood, but that's no excuse. My bad child made me too nice. And
well,
it
exactly. We
yeah,
all have
over.
something in our past
Hmm.
that put us in a direction that is not necessarily the of nurturing our highest good. We
Right.
all have to grow. And let's understand too that we have chosen these challenges because we are looking for growth, not
Mhm.
because we want to get hit over the head and
Right.
pummeled into the ground. We say, yes, I'm ready to be challenged for the purpose of becoming more than I was.
Yes.
So say yes to the challenge. Hey, I must be doing a lot right because here comes this incredibly daunting circumstance, and I got to step up my game. Nothing wrong with being challenged. There's something wrong with being stagnant and
Yes.
just
Yeah.
existing.
The stagnancy is misery.
It
Oh, you
really
have to
is.
come out of that. You really have to. If you feel that, and I used to look in the mirror and go, "What am I doing? Why am I accepting this?" I didn't know how. I was miserable. Then one day I was home and he was yelling on the phone. I was like, "Forget it. Don't you can't come here anymore." It took years.
But I'm so proud of you for being able to say, I am worthy and deserve better. And
Hmm.
I am going to be brave enough to say that those words.
Yes.
I deserve better. Hey, you, here's
And
your choice.
yes, and he hates cats and he's allergic. And my poor cat died of leukemia and AIDS. It was a horrible. Nobody diagnosed him right. He was such a lover, but I adopted a kitten from a rescue, and the kitten, somebody who's allergic and wouldn't have a cat at his house, is here. at his house because where I go, the kitten goes, or I don't go.
Oh, so he's really, I mean, look at the beautiful growth that
Hmm.
you've been able to share with him just because you're holding fast to your truth, your
Hmm.
divine alignment, and your value.
Hmm. Yeah, and he
So
loves
that's
it.
beautiful. And
Yeah,
you got a lovely partnership out of it.
yeah.
Partnerships are wonderful.
Hmm.
And if you find a person that is can honor you,
This
go
was
for it. But
big.
don't lose yourself in the process.
Yes, and would it change? So anything is possible. Please, people listening, believe in yourself. Believe the person can change, but like you said, not don't take abuse and don't think that that's correct. But there is hope. Some people do change, and I hate the statement use people can't change. If people didn't change, we'd all be stuck in our patterns. Mhm.
Yeah, that's too disheartening to even consider. We
Yes.
all can change. Not all of us are willing.
Hmm.
And I think that's so important to remember. You know, right now in spiritual circles, it's become the big deal. Are you one of the chosen ones? I'm like,
Oh, has it?
oh, they've gotten crazy with this
Yeah.
chosen thing. And it drives me up a tree because the divine are all loving and all
Right,
accepting. There are
right,
no exceptions. So
right.
just the fact that you would make that statement says, well, you don't have a personal relationship or have any understanding of who the divine really are, because there's no way one can be more than another. And they'll often quote the Bible saying, many are called, but few are chosen. And
Oh, Bible, yes.
so
Hmm.
I went again to my mother, father, God time and said, how does that make sense? If you're all loving and all accepting, why would you only choose a few? And of course, the only thing that ever makes sense when we're talking about the divine is that we are confused. They can never be confused.
Hmm.
They are complete. They have chosen. We're all love all the time and all acceptance
Yeah,
all the time. That's it. So
yes.
they said, no, that's a poor translation. Many are called and few choose to answer.
Okay. Hmm.
So why is it that some people change and some don't? Everyone is given the opportunity. Not
Right.
everyone is willing to do the work. You happen to find somebody who really is sincere about growth, and that's incredible.
I know.
However, I've worked with people who were in relationships where the other person said, I don't want to change. And
Mm.
that relationship had to end.
It
And
has
it
to.
doesn't mean anybody is bad or anyone is better than the other. It just says one was willing to grow and the other stayed stuck. And that does not make a happy partnership. So either you're both growing, or maybe you can stay stuck together. I don't know how happy that would be,
Right.
but it's a possibility that you can just gotta stay stuck and hate each other or
Hmm.
hate your lives, be miserable together. But
Yeah.
try to choose a partner that is your cheerleader for your own growth, is
Right.
is doing their own growth, and is
Right.
looking for both of you to grow together.
Right. Grow together because I was always looking for Prince Charming. And still, where is he? He never came.
Right.
Charming. That fairy tale is very detrimental for little girls. If you, I believed, you believe, but it has to be both of you. It can't just be one person being dependent on the other. And like you said, both grow. And yeah,
Absolutely. And your partner can be exceedingly charming as long as they are sincere, as long as that is really who they are from their heart. They
yeah,
really just love being that kind, caring, compassionate person that reaches out to everyone. Hey, beautiful. But
Yes.
if that's the mask that they are wearing so that they can draw people in to manipulate them later, you don't want to be attached or tied to that in any way.
Watch out for that. And everyone thinks that's what's happening, but no, they have to have more faith in me,
Oh,
you know.
absolutely. And you will either prove them right or wrong.
Mhm.
So you know what's going on. You
Yes,
know how you are feeling. And that's the thing. Everyone, what, oh, how will I know if I am in a safe relationship, especially if you're a trauma or abuse survivor? How will I know if I'm in a safe relationship?
you'll
It is,
know.
yeah, it's not rocket science. If
Mm,
you are feeling unsafe, unsure, uncomfortable, afraid, insecure, this is not a good relationship for you. You can
exactly.
try having the conversation with your partner to say, I'm really needing you to help me feel safe
Yes,
or calm or whatever. But you can't ignore if that continues to go in that direction, you are not in a self honoring relationship.
exactly. I have a question. What do you think about light beings? For instance, somebody that I study that is a teacher of mine, she says that we are all dense souls and we're here to experience what kind of like what you're saying. And we experience unpleasant and maybe abusive situations so we can transition to being a light being, which is what's going to happen and what's going on. I'm like, if I get any denser, with the experiences, forget it. Because, it wasn't just that one abusive, but are, do you follow that type of thinking? Are we all transitioning to a lighter being?
Absolutely. We are in a time, an unprecedented time in history, where
Mm-hmm.
we have left the Piscean age and are now fully in the Aquarian age, which is a lighter, more flowing, more unifying experience. And
Mm-hmm.
in order to do that, we had to go through that dark period
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. We don't all want to not murder our next door neighbor when they make us mad. We
Right.
all need to. I mean, think of us as children. When we are in the terrible two period, we're not really, we're usually, my toy won't work. Throw it on the ground. I'm mad. We have to grow through these things. And so we had to do that as a society. We had to first
Wow.
try to, kill each other
Mm-hmm.
because we wanted our neighbor's property. Then we evolved a little bit beyond that. Oh, maybe we can offer some caring to each other. Then we became manipulative. Then we became one of us is better than the other. We had to work through all of these growth stages, these ways of being that are higher and higher on the enlightenment scale to get to this place now, this sort of stepping off place where many of us, and we're not yet at the majority, but I'm hoping we'll get there soon, but many of us are choosing unification, peace, love, acceptance. We are not needing to carve out, oh, I need this for me and only me. That
Mm-hmm.
competitive mind is dying, and
Exactly.
the
Mm-hmm.
cooperative mind is becoming more exciting, more accepted, more desired. And
Yes.
as that happens, all of us lose the density of our being. And by that, I mean those negative thoughts, those negative emotions, that heavy, I'm no good, I am ashamed of my past behavior, all of that heavy, heavy, heavy stuff
Mm.
that may have marked your childhood because your parents grew up with that thinking needs to be put aside, just released, let it go, and bring in this understanding that life can be fun.
Yeah.
Life can be filled with joy.
Mm-hmm.
Life should be walking in a harmonious balance of love, joy, and peace for
Yes.
yourself and all those who you interact with.
Yes.
That's the goal. And
Yeah.
that's what we are stepping into, but we're having growing pains. We still got the guys that, I'm so angry, let's go shoot up the mall. I'm so upset, let me manipulate or do a Ponzi scheme or, you know,
Oh.
something. Let me get back at you because you won't behave the way that I want to. We
Mm-hmm.
still have those people, and they are helping all of those of us who said, hey, I'm full
No.
on in the light department. They're helping all of us, first of all, to anchor into our truth and to say, nope, I'm not giving up. You can shoot as many schools as you want to. I'm still going to believe that love is the way.
Mm-hmm.
So they are helping the rest of us who have already stepped into that lighter way of thinking and being and doing to become even more resolute in wanting to hold that higher frequency, because
Yes.
we can see their pain, we can see their confusion, we can see their distress, and we don't want to punish them. We want to help them if
Yeah.
possible.
Yes. That's kind of what Ageless is about. It's for our age group, and it's a movement. I want a movement where I win, you win, and uplift
Yes.
on with this. Not I'm better than you, I'm more experienced than you, I'm this, I'm that. I want everyone to feel great and win, and I'm doing it. I'm going to do it.
You are doing it. And I will tell people I'm very
Okay.
selfish. I am committed to
Mhm.
living in a world that feels good. So
Yeah,
I'm going to do everything I can to
and
make this world a better place for all. I'm not
mm-hmm.
necessarily doing it for all of you. I'm doing it for me because I want my days to be overflowing with love, joy, and peace. And that means it's going to overflow onto you. So
Yes.
I'm going to help you in any way I can because
Hmm.
you will then help me be able to stay in this feel good place. Because
Yes.
having been in that place where I was a victim and cleaning the kitchen morning, noon, and night, and never getting to feel honored in any way or feel good about myself, I don't want to go back there. I
No, no,
didn't like that. That was not a happy life.
no. And you can't, once you step through it, you really can't go back. I
No,
I I could never. So
no. When you
yeah.
see it coming, you're like, oh no, how
Mm,
fast can I run the other direction?
yeah. Yes.
Or for me, I'm like, uh-oh, better do some heart healing. What in the heck am I holding on to that's allowing me to even think about that, connecting with that kind of energy? And then
Exactly.
immediately release it and replace it with, ah.
And it starts from the heart. I'm a Reiki healer and a chakra cleanse. And from my studies and all of my experiences, everything starts from the heart. Once the heart center opens, you can heal everything. It doesn't start from
Everything.
the heart. Mhm.
Yes, and I tell people because my earlier training was all psychology and education.
Mm.
So, I was a brain worshiper. Oh,
Oh,
if I can just get the brain, let me understand what's motivating them, their thoughts, Oh, the longest, most impactful journey I have ever taken was from here to
to
here.
your yes. And
It
when you
changed everything.
joy, that joy, you like you start out by imagining one of the most beautiful experiences in your life, and it actually it will help you stop aging. Like we're ageless, we can't stop the aging process, of course, but it will help you stay younger. Even your face, you'll have that joy. If only we could capture that and have it every second of our life.
And
But
we can. We can. Now, the beautiful thing about the heart, and
mhm,
Carl Jung said it best. Carl said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will control your life and you will call it fate. Now, the doorway to your subconscious, which is the thing that is doing all of your attracting and thinking for you when you're not paying attention, is through the heart. So
Yes.
if you get this heart space, that if you've been on the planet for more than a minute, it has had some damage, it's taken some hard knocks. If you honor your heart by clearing away that pain, that past abuse and trauma, you are then going to plant in your subconscious mind a new way of being. And that is going to go into your brain, create new thoughts. And now you are attracting to you a different caliber of people and situations, more loving, more powerful, more joyous, more uplifting.
Exactly. And it's alignment. Alignment, I used to think, because when I was very new to the spiritual studies and psychic, oh, I'll be in alignment. I'll be outside and somebody will ask me to do Reiki on them. I'll be in alignment. Somebody will ask me to do Reiki and I'll join their class or their group. That doesn't happen. You have to, like you said, you have to have your heart open. You have to step into it. And once you step into it, people, places start falling into the correct alignment. It isn't an easy task, but isn't hard either. It is
But
right.
I'm so glad you said that, because I just did a short video and I can send that to you about how to tell what you're in alignment with.
Right.
Because, like you, when I first started, I called alignment when I had it right, which was very rare.
Mm-hmm.
But alignment simply means agreement. So I was in alignment with abuse. I
Right.
was like, bring it on. Yeah, I'm loving being
Right.
the person that is not thought well of, but is just invited because I'll do the cleanup. I was 100% in alignment with that view of myself. Now I am in alignment or in agreement
Mm-hmm.
with love, joy, and peace. So
Yeah.
please understand, alignment is not only when you are,
In the right place at
yes,
the
thank
right.
you.
Right.
It's simply
Yeah.
agreement. Anything you
Mm-hmm.
are agreeing to, you are in alignment with. So check your agreements.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're having trouble, if you're new to the spiritual field, look around. If you've got Mr. You're worthless and Mrs. Work harder and flat tires, you are in alignment with I don't have value, I don't deserve good things,
Mm-hmm.
I it's okay for people to take advantage of me.
Exactly.
Clear that out.
Mm-hmm.
Recognize you are a being of infinitesimal worth, just as you are,
Mm-hmm.
as a child of the divine, and we are all children of the divine. You are priceless.
Mm-hmm.
So begin there. And when starts talking, get up and walk away.
Right.
You don't deserve that.
Exactly. And remember, you are a child of the divine. That's beautiful. We all are.
We all are. This means you are the most priceless being on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
However, the person next to you is also the most priceless being on the planet. So we must understand that there is no better than, there
Exactly.
is only equal to,
Mm-hmm.
and that value is priceless.
Yes.
People can choose not to see that they have value, that's on them. But
Mm-hmm.
you, if you choose to see that people have no value, that's on you. And it carries a really heavy price tag. These narcissists, these other competitors, they are paying heavily with
Yes.
depression and a lack of self-worth and self-love, they are paying a very, very heavy price. So if you can put yourself in the mind that someone may not look like me or love like me or think like me or act like me or talk like me, however, they at their center, at the heart, are exactly the same as me because they are a child of the divine and we are all priceless. If you can get there, your life will change.
Exactly. And like you said, you start attracting better people. I'm not saying ones, but for you attract a better. I cannot stand a dynamic that I have with someone. It just doesn't wear well with me anymore. The clothes don't fit, and I'm not accepting it anymore. Um, and like I am attracting wonderful, wonderful people in my life. It's just amazing. It,
And isn't it fun to watch it all? Like it's like magic.
yes.
It's like there's no, it's truly magical to just be overflowing with joy and
Hmm.
get excited about the next wonderful thing that's coming and just kind of like do nothing
Yes.
except hold that frequency and say, look at all these great things that are happening and recognize God is unlimited. So, God, source, creator, the universe, whatever you want to call it, that is an unlimited being.
Yes.
So, you can't take more than your share because it's unlimited. Take what you need or what you desire, and at some point you'll overflow and it will overflow all to onto everyone else.
Yes.
So the best thing you can ever possibly do is say, yes, I am open to receiving and
Hmm.
I will give generously from my overflow.
Yes. Yes. And help others. And there's enough for all. There's abundance.
More than enough,
Yes.
more than enough. There will never come a time when there is a finite amount of love,
Hmm.
because the more that we receive love generated within ourselves and share it with others, the more that it grows. Joy, peace, all of these positive, uplifting, motivational, inspiring energies just grow the more that they are shared. So
Yes.
can never be an ending point.
Hmm. And it's a beautiful thing. Like I had a dream that it was spoken to me. The words were unity is for all. And the feeling you stepped out of
Yeah,
your house and you
yes.
cherished cat and you treated the neighbors like your cherished cat or dog and or child, and everyone had the same frequency. It was just a wonderful feeling. And the way everyone was treating in the dream, it was just the feeling was that's probably what should be what the
Well,
world.
let's look at that.
Mhm.
If everybody is in this place of I feel good about myself and I want to include all others, we have no homeless, we have no food shortage, we have no angry people with any kind of desire to do mass shootings, we have no war, we have no anything but love, joy, and peace because
Mhm.
everyone is so overflowing with that beautiful emotion that you described
That was
that they can't imagine
no.
not wanting to gift whatever they have. And we all come with a skill or a talent. So we would all just be sharing our talents and not worried about Susie does better than me or Bill is more advanced. Let
Right.
Bill be more advanced. What do you do well? We can't all be doctors because then there would be no teachers. We can't all be lawyers because then there would be no electricians. We need everyone doing
Yeah.
everything.
And you were safe. You were safe being nice. You weren't going to be taken advantage of.
Yes,
That was
yes.
the feeling. Yes.
I
So,
think, gosh, if we were all entertainers, who do you call when you need a
yeah.
plumber? It's like, uh, I don't do that well. I'll
Hmm.
try, but I'm probably going to have such a big mess that now I need 10 plumbers
Right.
because I messed it up so badly. Be you. You
Hmm.
are valuable. Bring the skill that is yours and do it with an open and loving heart. There is a place for you. It
Yes.
may not be my place, but I can't be your place. So just let everyone be themselves and let's see what incredible place we can live in together.
Yes. Exactly. So where can people reach you?
Oh, please come to our website. It's the hearthealingfoundation.org. And on the website, you'll have access to free spiritual materials, videos, blogs, different ways that I want to help you interact with the angelic realm, that energetic body of beautiful light beings that are, again, only filled with love, joy, and peace,
Hmm.
and want to guide you to your most beautiful, most powerful place of being. So you'll get to understand more about working with the angelic community, but also you'll have an opportunity if you feel that you need counseling support in order to move forward. We are a foundation, a nonprofit, so we can offer pay what you can services. And of course, we're always accepting donations
No.
because many, many folks cannot pay anything. So
Hmm.
you're allowing those of us who offer the counseling to actually eat and live and offer these services. So come on, everyone is welcome. We will help you make that incredible journey from victim to victorious and introduce you to this incredible support, what it's like to live when your heart is healed, your life transforms. There's
Yes.
no other way to say it.
Hmm.
So, we're going to introduce you to this incredible support, but also to this life of transformation. And we'll do it with whatever you can offer in exchange.
That is so beautiful. I wish I had known this years ago.
I was not, listen, I needed, this
Hmm.
is my gift back
Hmm.
because when I was trying to crawl out from under my own trauma, there was the library and me. There were and some YouTube videos, and I am grateful for every resource out there, but
Yes.
I desperately needed a non-judgmental
Little
place to
support.
go
Yes. The little
where,
support goes such a long way.
yes, somebody who would say, who would have been able to say to me, yes, it's true, you have created this scenario without making me feel ashamed,
Hmm.
guilty, uh, destroyed, because so many people along the way told me, well, it's your fault. And that just drove me deeper into the darkness.
Oh,
It
wow.
wasn't until I was able to understand, oh, I'm a powerful creator.
Yes. Yes.
That is, oh, I was creating this through my agreement.
Hmm.
Oh, I can change my agreement. I
Hmm.
don't have to always be the servant in the room. I can actually enjoy my life.
Right.
Oh, I'm on board with that. So that's really the crux of the program is we go in through the heart and address all of those hidden beliefs, the limitations, the trauma, and the abuse, and we let it go. Lovingly let it go with the support of the angelic realm, and we replace it with divine truth, which says, you are safe and loved. You are more than enough. You are accepted as you are, and you are a powerful creator.
Yes. Exactly. All of that.
And it took a long time for me to learn it. So please take advantage of my journey because you're going to help me create this world I am so excited to live in.
Right. And at this ageless age, many women have unhealed trauma because back in the day we didn't have this.
We didn't
So,
talk about it.
yeah, we carry it with us. We're ashamed. Back if I went to a shrink or something, I was the sick one and looked upon horribly. So,
And maybe you need some medication.
we haven't really healed. Or I would lie and say I'm okay, and
Oh,
then, yeah, of
I'm
course,
fine. I'm fine. Yeah. I love this. This is exactly what I had hoped my life would look like.
right.
Right.
And
Okay.
so women of a certain ageless age that haven't healed, this would be so helpful for as well. That's yeah.
Absolutely. Especially, it used to be my whole practice was women over 40,
Mm,
closer to 50, because now the children are independent and you can kind of stop for long enough to say, uh, none of this is what I had signed up for.
right.
Let me start over. But it's getting younger. So, whatever age you are, if you are willing to say, I'm done with living a life that feels lousy,
Hmm.
come on over. I
Yeah.
want to work with you. I want to show you. There are so many beautiful directions that you can choose from,
Hmm.
and I want to support you in getting there.
Yes, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh,
You know,
I have the best job in the world because I get to see you win.
yes. And it's like after I would do a healing or I help someone, you get the good energy back. So that's
Yes.
what it's all about.
Yes. You know that with Reiki.
Freaking amazing.
It's
Yes.
like, okay, the person comes in,
Hmm.
whatever, dealing, filled with negativity or hurt or pain or whatever. By the time you're done, they're glowing.
Yeah.
And now they're sharing that with you. So even though, yes, we do have to give in our professions, we get so much more than we give.
Hmm. And it's beautiful. You can't explain it. You have to feel it.
You
It's
have to feel it. Yep.
yes. So thank you so much for coming on Ageless. It was such a pleasure. And everyone like and share this episode and connect with Marcia Martin and her heart healing. And I that's about it for this episode. Do you have anything else to add or
Just please don't be shy.
don't
There's,
be shy or ashamed?
yes, there's never a person who has come to me and explained their story and has been told, well, you're the reject that we just can't help. Usually I say, oh, that's it?
Hmm.
Honey, I've been through the mud so many times that you still look clean. Come on in here. We're going to get this is easy.
Right.
If I could fix my years of crazy, stupid decisions,
Oh my goodness.
yours is easy. So,
Mhm.
everyone, come forward. You will be loved, accepted, celebrated, and I just can't wait to
Yeah.
share this freedom with you.
Yes, that is so great. And don't be ashamed. Do not be.
Never,
There's no shame.
never. And let's also look at that really quickly.
Mhm.
If you hadn't gone through the trauma, the abuse, the limitation, whatever it is for you, you would not be at this place where you're ready to break free. So, for my own self, I can only be grateful for what came before because
Mhm.
I never would have invested the amount of time and energy needed to break free. So, it's been shit. I get it. You didn't deserve it. And I'm sorry that you went through it, but I'm not because it brought you to this place and you're further ahead than most everyone else in the universe because now you have a burning desire to change.
Yes. And
So
that's empowering.
it is, I'm really sorry that you had to go through it, but it's
Mhm.
going to be worth it.
Yes. It will be so worth it. You'll step out a stronger person, more empowered. You won't be that person looking in the mirror going, why am I accepting this? This is,
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Yes. You can do it. You have already, and let's remember too, you've been through the hard stuff. If
Yeah.
you can get through all of that,
Hmm.
this is easy.
Yeah.
This is a walk in the park. So there's really, it will require your commitment,
Hmm.
but it's a heck of a lot easier than anything else you've been through and so much more rewarding.
Yes, most definitely. So thank you again for coming on Ageless.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And everyone, again, like and share this episode. Get in touch with Marcia Martin and her heart healing. It comes from the heart, and that is a beautiful message. So thank you for being here.
Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome.